Aboko there.
Boko Obi. This is the first time I'm about studio.
Yeah.
Obi. So I say Obi, the most powerful host. Obi Okasa. Obi Antumi Kasa. Obi Ojokuta fact. Obi Grillo. I say, hey Obi, wait there easy. One day I'll be a friend of Obi. And then
Fantastic. So constituency Aboko.
Yeah. You hosa. Inyamiadum.
Bibi Ekoyi.
Enko ye bet nyamiadum dachi ebeyi
but wow. And ranking member on the roads, say a transport, roads and highways.
Yeah, roads and transport.
Oh, a roads and transport committee.
Yes.
Okay. And what chairman
Honorable, the respected Honorable Kennedy Osei Nyako.
Kennedy Osei Nyako.
A very good friend of mine.
Yeah. Okay. In the end, the roads debate is back on the front burner. And there was a yetimi edomwe soko na yeshe the nyoma AC echo. The president put out some figures. The Roads and Highways Ministry and so the statement aba. But even before that, Nana would throw in some, spokes be in their wheels actually. In some president they can also say na yeshe. But Baba Bibusa say, what is your issue with the 10,000 plus kilometers number, President? But before that, I need to share this information with our listeners now. So, me pamochel adofonum say who tie me Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games. Baso Birmingham in the UK. And yeah, ma kwina unso etimi akọ hwebi. There was a way and say apart from the Commonwealth Games, yes, they are planning a tour of London this year 2022. Africa Origin Travels and Sport Tourism and AD Sejumi. Now, almost say with the brand are just 5,000 Ghana cedis and secure your visa and holiday in the UK. Package includes your visa application support, your visa fee, your UK visa scan fee, the accommodation in London and Birmingham, travel insurance, breakfast, transportation in and out of the airport, games ticket, a return flight ticket, tourism to Birmingham and London sites. Me pamochao. Deadline to secure these packages and your visa is 20th May. In the way metria by 20th May. Note that you have to secure your package with 5,000 Ghana cedis and get your visa granted. Client can choose to buy the flight ticket from our office or outside our office. Me pacho so you interested friend number CCC 0544 347 001 0544 347 001 and 0544 347 002. Your North Ridge opposite the Switzerland Embassy in the Oko North Ridge Ubehu African Origin Travel and Sport Tourism. Na Birmingham Commonwealth Games say the yemfa wonko na wonso faso na kokoji weni. Enya no nko a Bell Beverages the Bell Chill and Win promo about your mo kenny say woto a bottle of your favorite Bell beverage product. Your Tamarinda, your Bell Cola, Puka, Big Boss, Squeeze, Breeze, Bell Malt and more. Uto bottle ni bia why label ne bo hono. Say utimi top bottles be 20 why labels in labels 20 fashion envelope mo na fa call any Bell beverage depot and as accredited distributor ne jawo ho. And you stand a chance of winning fantastic prizes, I tell you. In the Bell Chill and Win monthly draws. We would announce it on TV, on radio, and then on social media. Prizes, your home furniture set, your appliances, your hampers of Bell product, your shopping vouchers, the grand prize of a Kia Picanto in the final raffle draw. And the more envelopes you drop, the more your chances of winning. Envelope, Biana, it was 20 labels and a shame. And me pamocha opesa utimu nsemo afre number 0544 335 800 and that's 0544 335 900. Terms and conditions apply. Kaise Bell mixes are now available on Jumia Ghana. Bell Beverages, refreshing the nation, and advert with FDA Ankasa Etumi Aje Atum in the motion and so Kobe Stone. Sebi Kobe Stone. Wow. Enti Go TV so say born ya so from 89 cities to 69 Ghana cities. Auto Go TV I amount relatable African content on Aquaba Magic Rock, GH and Trace Jama plus various kids channels, sport and movies. 69 Ghana and then a deadline for this promotion. Ya so after any HM na 89 ya so about 69 Ghana. Say Go TV nkwa DSTV so say ono so no omo so ateso from 169 to 129 Ghana. Utua 129 cities are your mount Zappa decoder, diskette plus 1 month of DSTV access subscription. In year 129 instead of the old price of 169. 31st March, and offer eba awie in the court na kokaje with the DSTV feel every moment. Munshan and so emfa emayin. Honorable Kwame Agbodza. First question is will issue with president announcement no any what's the issue?
Yo, menia medase na me chia tiefo ni nyina de wo adakluni bibia me da nyame asese menya opportunity ene say metumi appear on this wonderful and big platform say na betumi eboaboy ho as a country to do a nyama etumi peja your country enti enye idea to undermine ourselves. It's just to correct ourselves and get better. Obi, at somebody say the largest number of questions put to a minister by colleague members of parliament is to the road minister.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
And I always say he is the most diligent in terms of coming to parliament to respond to questions put by colleagues. Okay. By far, I mean, some ministers hardly would come. You heard me complaining about the finance minister the other time, who would hardly come and answer questions. So the road minister is outstanding in terms of commitment to answering questions. So he has provided a plethora of data already in different forms to parliament. Okay. The size of our road network is known. As a ranking member, I know every 10 years or so, we do what we call inventory taking, which is to go around the country to see, in the past, somebody's farm was just a farm. But since then, say nipa bebre a dying war until now it's almost a community. So they take inventory of all those things to determine the size of road network. So until that is what determine what we call the 78,000 kilometers of road we have right now. It doesn't mean those roads are even motorable necessarily. It just means that it's part of the stock of roads we have. As we speak, they've done another inventory going through say now to just get the data right, and that is why you saw in that letter that some 94,000. It's normal. The last one, President Kufuor did one, and then we did one, which brought it to this. But since then, we've been doing projections. The main issue is this: that it is also true. Say, anywhere, even if they spent 1 year, every government does some, and there's every evidence to prove. Say, under this government too, they are doing some road work. After all, being a ranking member of the road committee, I've supported the commercial agreement to do roads, whether it's Bolga Polmaku a road, whether it's a bridge here and other things. We've been doing that. So we have record of what government have been doing, at least through commercial agreement. And we have data on what government have been doing in terms of GOG funded projects and others. It may not be an accurate, a perfect figure, but roughly we know what it is. And the only time we get the accurate figure is when the minister or presentee a document, data. Recently, I think May 2021. That's the that's the last meet the press. The minister and in that press interaction, he took time to explain a lot of things. That document will capture almost every road intervention we're doing. It was that day now. Oka say they are projecting to do 6,000 kilometers of road over a period of time. And Wama details of what they were doing, the number of bridges and where the bridges were going to be. For instance, Ekwano from Independence Square all the way to the beach road. That was all part of a CDB loan in the past, which was capped. President Mills capped it because we couldn't draw down the 3 billion, if you remember. Yes. And then the new government came and started a new part of it. So under that same agreement, we are doing Accra Intelligent Traffic Agreement and then all that. So we will see some interchanges along that route. So there's evidence that we can see something happening. Where we have problem is this: when the president came to the house as the constitution require, that day, I must say that in recent time, interestingly, that became one of the most peaceful day in Parliament. If you notice, I didn't even hear one heckling on. I mean, they just shared jokes and other things peacefully, and I think Ghanaians were happy that nobody provoked anybody, so that we can get on and do our work. And we patted ourselves in the back. However, he mentioned certain figures that we needed to interrogate. Already the State of the Nation, as the president presented on page 15, and then he if you start that particular page, he said some 10,875 kilometers of new roads have been constructed in these 5 years. 5 years. The emphasis is constructed 10,800 new roads. So we took up issues because a friend was saying, the budget statement from 2017 till date, the amount of money set aside by the road ministry to do roads are, for instance, last year, the amount of money in the budget to do road was just about 1.2 billion Ghana cedi. If you add the road fund and other things, it's peanut. Yeah. But if you take another background, you realize that, for instance, Cocoa Board alone have awarded project to almost 15 billion Ghana cedis. Okay. A quarter of that has not even been done or paid for. Wow. The Sino Hydro Kanwa, $664 million. Changing to 8 cities today. The town roads, the critical road Kanwa, we are approaching 40 billion cedis worth of road. Yenim say that was the basis of what the minister presented as the stock of 11,101 kilometers of road programs, out of which he said, Omo program said they are going to try to complete 6,000. And I mean, you have a bizarre question. Out of the commenter, Minister Ameki said, we have constructed 4,200 kilometers. Yes. So, me and Miano, pushing minister say, provide data on your 4,200 kilometers of road. And the minister being diligent with Parliament, presented this document. The document. This document was presented in February. February this year. But it is dated 2017 and May. May 2021. Exactly. And Obia say, at least, say, who data on things that have been done till February. Now, Obia Bissau say, what have you done from 2017 today? So, you sure say, why you be significant from Mayor? You don't present this one. You could have presented because opportunity from hindsight from May 2021. But he presented this. The third page of the document, the breakdown of what they did is there. For instance, I'll say Asphaltic Overlay, 1,463 kilometers. The fact is that today, if you go and check the stock of Adia Amuya, Abia, it will be more than 1,463. Why? Because we see Asphaltic Overlay going on almost all the time, at least in Accra, Kumasi, and some places. Yes. So this figure cannot be static. Yes. It would have improved. But I don't expect that to be 500 extra kilometers because it takes some time to do everything. Construction. This is probably actually a choir, fresh.
Construction here, new road.
That is what the understanding that this is new. That is not like because Omar classify BBA construction only 68.5 kilometers. And you call graveling and regraveling. Yes. So it is clear that a new road is a new road. Yes. Partial reconstruction 139.41 kilometers. Reconstruction 90.4 kilometers. Rehabilitation 837 27 kilometers. Resealing, 86.20 kilometers. Spot improvement, 139.57 kilometers. Upgrading, 482.83 kilometers. Udini ina kabumwa, 4,263 kilometers, 72. And this information, he says, is up to
May 2021.
And a friend is saying, Coco Road project no encount. Okay. And we understand that because the comprehensive stock of road project he's already given us that data during his meet the press. Okay. And the Coco Road on page no.
Asempa FM.
Ube say enye idea secret ma obia. We can see say they are talking about about 4,800 kilometers, which is costing the almost 15 billion Ghana cedi. We talking
to Cocoa Board.
To Cocoa Board.
Into Cocoa Roads, no. Yes. And also no, sir, 4,000 something kilometers, no.
And count.
Is it the EFI 2017 Eba?
To Cocoa Road. Cocoa Board roads.
Yes.
Omo inherited Cocoa Road be free NDC. You remember say even they set up a committee to investigate whether those contracts were awarded properly. Yes. And as we speak, the Agri Minister say wale sa Cocoa Road audit report our parliament but me catch point blank say that document is not in parliament.
Not in parliament.
It's nobody. So road program for the period 11,101 kilometers.
Yes.
Cocoa Road, critical road, 2,167.2. Cocoa Road, 4,853.
Okay.
Town Road, so we have a stock of that.
Okay.
So what we are saying, today, we say what constructing 10,800 kilometers of new roads. The truth is that data be anyhow to back it. Now, if you take letter road ministry issue,
but honorable me pacho before so can I as a layman, no? Because the data road minister the buyer now a capture between 2017 and May 2021, and now 4,600 and something kilometers of roads.
4,200
and something kilometers. And can I then add Cocoa Roads there 4,000 and something no to say 4,000 way to say road to my construct is 8,000 plus kilometers?
No, what you see here as projects under Cocoa Road are contracts. And yet acquire almost as the president says, we have constructed a new road.
Okay.
That is what the ministry is failing to do. Say, Bia, as a matter of fact, as a politician, imagine I am say, Bia, somebody's way of writing idea, President Akufo-Addo, His Excellency Eridino.
Yeah.
They didn't write it properly. Okay. So the honorable thing to do is say, actually, we are not saying we have constructed and completed 10,800 kilometers of new road. But that is what the Ministry of Roads and Highways attempted to do with their letter. Statement. And by saying, they've written a lot of English, and then almost the table B account on the last page, the page our senior colleague Onabo Makwata assigning. We'll see roads constructed and maintained. They are now changing the rendition. You see, because you're not talking about maintenance, and even in I think May 2021, the ministry even issued a statement stopping the award of new contract at the urban road. And I issued a statement say it's a bad decision because what it's going to do is to lead to more road getting bad because the technical people know when to make the critical intervention. And you already table where they have come to say between 2017 and May 2021, which is this document that I'm talking about, they have actually accounted for the 4,263 kilometers. And then the breakdown this time round, Oman breakdown account in terms of critical road But when they said from June to December 2021, then they are capturing critical roads, mainly Ghana Highway Authority, 312.74 kilometers.
Yes.
Cocoa Roads, 367.
667.
Yeah. In other words, out of the 4,800 kilometers of Cocoa Road we were talking about, only 367 have been completed.
Okay.
And then if you go to town roads, under Department of Feeder Road and Department of Urban Road, 122.21 kilometers. Asphaltic overlay, they are saying that between June and December
2021,
already 581 kilometers at the account. And like I said, so that figure of 1,400 no, and then na across road kakra, that is understandable. And now, donor program, we have different program. It appears say out of that, no, only 50 kilometers have been completed. Other development partners, nothing. The biggest chunk is grading and sport improvement, 4,900 kilometers. Meaning, say a grading, obiate grading, I say. A grading now we year for almost 5,000 kilometers. A denting na to me a parliament. Say we have constructed 10,800 kilometers. This is what the ministry issue in trying to defend the president. But they've made it worse. You can just see here. Grading is the largest part of even the 10,800 kilometers. But that is routine maintenance. It's routine maintenance. Like majority of roads, they are untarred. Periodically, exactly, just to make it, especially since they level it a bit, say now at least more trouble. Exactly, which is a normal program of the ministry every Adam, and it is nothing new. And the president, His Excellency, and 10,800 kilometers new road contracted from. It is still a mystery to everybody. And as we speak now, the ministry is yet to provide any evidence. The only thing they can provide here, which I can see, which I thank them for, is to say, between June and then December 2021, they have done a total of 1,500 kilometers. And he said, Obibisa said, between May 2021 until is it possible for them to build over 6,000 kilometers? Your answer is in the minister's response. They did not. Rather, what they have done so far is to add what they have done in terms of grading, as is here. And meaning, grading is not something that a president at me the year campaign, even DC before that me year way. And that is how. So if you ask me, what is my concern? My concern is simply that the rendition of idea present to parliament no, it is inaccurate to say the least. And I don't blame him. Now road minister, somebody gave that figure Edima Obi our Flagstaff House because the speech writers are in Flagstaff, they are not at the ministry, and they should have people who should be able to interpret the figures and say what does it mean. If today I'm sure say a technocrat natural. That reporter, they would never have put that rendition of we have built 10,800 kilometers of new road. They would never have done that. So two things they can do: come out and say it was a slip, and actually what we wanted to say is differently. But if the whole issue let away here, it did not answer the question I kept asking. Did you build 10,800 kilometers of road? The answer is new. The answer is no.
It is a we are honorable, and on the face of the record, in terms of statement ministry in the issue, no, you actually agree with them, sir, as he presented to Parliament between 2017 and May 2021, 4,263. That one is factual. It's in that. No. In that report.
Even that one, it's not to say.
New road.
Exactly. The new road here, in that page is on page 3. 68.5 kilometers. The rest is part of this, which is grading, regrading, graveling, and other things.
Okay.
So it is not even
new road.
The last paragraph, he said the 10,800 kilometers of road constructed have been on both paved and unpaved
roads.
And then but before then, just below then he gave a breakdown of what that breakdown is, and he talks about it. And the bulk of the 10,875 is what 4,910 of grading. This is where the problem is. You see, we need to be careful. Say, the discussion about the road to make it as if say obi MP obi asem. Share. The already text message be obi say, why are you saying say the road between the distance between Accra and Beijing is so and so?
Yeah.
The reason somebody did that is just hypothetical. Of course, there's not a straight line between Yuzu Kwanya.
Yeah.
It's not a straight line from Beijing. But just as an example, the distance as crow flies is like they fly direct. Between Keta, say, assuming say you are not going through any caves and other thing, and Paga will be less than 1,000 kilometers, or a maximum 1,000 kilometers. So you are saying, say, we have constructed roads, which you can call road, surfaced 10 times between how do you call it? Keta and Paga. That is not there. Have we done asphaltic overlay? Yes, we can see it. Are we working on some flyovers? Yes, we can see. Yes. Have we got contract on many roads, including those in Adaklu? Yes, we had some even before the NPP came in, and we still have we have added some since then. Have they completed? No. So,
but are you then saying, say be a government because they are constructing road of so and so kilometers, then all those roads, should be trunk roads and highways?
No.
Don't you consider town roads, asphalt and
excellent. That is why it is a very, very, very bad way of presentation. Say, Ube to me a lampu all the interventions. I call them interventions on the road and pretend say you have constructed 10,800 kilometers because, as you said, urban road is different from highways.
Yes.
Feeder roads are different from highways. In fact, there's a farming area in Adaklu or part of the country that doesn't probably even need to be a third road at this stage. All they need is a motorable road for them to cut the farm produce to a place where they can take them to the market. So you don't necessarily have to tar that road at the same time as trying to tar a road in Accra. You understand? So all you needed to do is to determine, say, oh, okay, we have done some interventions. Out of this intervention, be factual and say, the actual road we have constructed, we have gone to build a 68 or 100 kilometers. We have reconstructed this road. So we have done, just like the way they've done asphaltic overlay.
Yeah.
And nobody is doubting it. Because even by the close of today, maybe the kilometerage of asphaltic overlay as done would have gone up. Nobody will argue with you about this. This is all we are talking about. So your question as to whether a layman will say that, oh, we have done 10,000 kilometers or that thing, the breakdown is what the issue is. Because every government, routine maintenance, I've seen graders by feeder road, grading roads periodically there. It is normal. And in fact, it's part of the, if it's MTEF, medium-term development framework of the ministry, they report every year as to how many kilometers of road are almost to me are graded. And it's normal information. So the only reason we took up issue with this was because of the way the president presented it, as if, say, 10,000 kilometers, because, why regrading 4,900 kilometers? Does that even become an issue the president should be, and then be trying to say, teasing us, and we have to control ourselves because we are catching him who say, no matter what the provocation he brings to us yesterday, we would actually prevail on ourselves and let him say whatever he will say and go. And we'll deal with him later. That is what we are doing. Because we reacted to what he said yesterday would have been actually heckling him because what he said was the agenda 111 issues and other thing. But we decided, say, after that, we would demand the details from him. And so we in an explanation to the 10,800 kilometers. They haven't done well because this hasn't given any explanation.
Yeah, but the other thing is, and because Wawa Jatum say you are from a rural constituency, Unyi say for your constituents, yes, a quine daha, but that road is unmotorable. Just say, what the car fast when ye to that person, no, say we be greedy quine so manoa. Why a quine no, Anna?
No, you see, we are Yanka say grading. Grading is very critical. Out of the 78,000 kilometers of road, the data no, we are saying, say, the bulk of it is not a good road.
Good road.
In fact, even in Accra, some suburbs, even when it rains, say now will be at me every ejuma ekonifia, and easy. So grading that road is necessary. We call it maintenance. It's necessary. We are not saying say enye, but say the owner of the data who present here. Data is only as good as how
it is presented.
So the best quality data But it doesn't make sense to anybody. So it is how you segregate it so that everybody can understand. So President Etimeka said, oh, out of the 10,800 kilometers of roads I'm talking about, what we have actually done in terms of construction is this. Somebody will say, Nejuma to bring that down. Yes, but then if that is what he wanted to say, the rendition in the State of the Nation address is too
misleading.
Exactly. That's all we are saying.
It is anka oyi new ni free ho.
Yeah.
And say we have constructed.
No, we have worked. We have carried out different interventions. We have carried out various interventions on various roads across the country,
amounting to
10,000.
10,000.
One actual road constructed from scratch. 100 kilometers. Asphaltic overlay.
But those details could not have been put in the statement.
No, we are not asking him to bet. You have already said that let's call it his presentation, that executive summary.
Yeah.
The executive summary is misleading. That we have constructed 10,800 new roads. That is where the problem is.
Okay.
So let everybody understand that Yankase NPP they haven't started because they have already presented documents to us to say they have been working on 11,111 kilometers of road. And a chunk of this is also road project they have inherited, which is yet to be completed. President Kufuor inherited roads every Rollins time. He's completed some and added some. President Mills, the same inherited some from President Kufuor, added some. Unfortunately, he passed on. President Mahama took over, did some, and then left some for President Akufo-Addo. So even the Cocoa Road, Uchekia, even till today, some of the project we are calling the 4,800 kilometers or 5,000 under the Cocoa Road, don't be surprised. Some of them were awarded in 2015 and 2016. But that is the true reflection of the stock of road project we are doing. That is what I said. If you add all of them, the cost, Ghana should be finding out where we're going to get almost 40 billion Ghana cedi. Don't forget, the 2016 budget appropriation was just about 50 billion. The whole appropriation. Then we are now going to spend, and even now, as we speak, we are awarding more projects. And we are approaching 40 billion. So let this be clear. And the temptation for the president was to say, he done so well, nobody have done so and so. Who the contractors for 9 billion. Who awarded projects, or you have inherited and added some almost 40 billion. Is that an achievement? And then contractor the ATA, and they listen to you a lot. He's not been able to work. In fact, I had a text message from somebody who from an institution that we've been, since we started a discussion, they've sent the records around the country, the road agency. What have you done? And then he went to even a road to check whether they've done. The contractor is not even on the side. Well, the contractor no use a language we cannot use here. That so you haven't paid me. I'm even finding it difficult to even buy credit. You are here asking me to come back to site. We have serious problem on the road sector. This is not the time to take credit for anything because the industry is in crisis.
But the other thing is, being an industry player, you've been around and you know the road sector better than some of us do. Say comparative analysis, because I thought that is what the president sought to do with the statement, and in the process you use the word unprecedented and also use advisedly. So we share the quantum of worker abide way in the road sector after the launch of the Year of Roads, initiative now. Won't you credit them for the focus and the work they've done in the road sector in the last 5 years?
No, why would I not do that? Sika abang spendi actual payment to contractors speak differently. And Maminka Bibichero, President Rollins, a friend was saying the interchanger going towards police police headquarters, right?
Akwaje
and President Kufuor,
yes,
Tete Kwashi, and President Mahama, Circle, now OBJB phase 1,
yes, and
Kaswa, and I loan to her for Pokwasi and other things. Sa say President Kufuor had done better than President Rollins in terms of interchange or routes. Obetumi aka say President Mills, President Mahama have done better than President Kufuor in terms of interchanges and others. It is possible, so Obetumi aka say, in terms of interchanges and other things, President Akufo-Addo would, by the end of his term, if he were to do it, but it is not natural because what was the road network in President Rawlings' time in terms of data? What was the road network in terms of length and President Kufuor's time? What was the road? Because every year, and the road ministry is even hinting that this data of 78,000 would get to 94,000 in few months' time because they have already collected the data. So it is not a scientific way of saying, say, you have done better. It's just natural, say, if you inherit more road network, you'll be doing more grading on the road. If you inherit an economy that has gotten bigger and you've got more money, you are expected to do more. It's as simple as that. It doesn't mean, say, President Rawlings, one year. So if you go comparing the number of interchanges President Mahama built with President Rawlings or President Kufuor, you are missing the point because what will be the basis of your comparison? The same way if you start comparing yourself in terms of, in fact, President Rawlings, President Mahama, you see, Nikai, what, 120
billion.
Now, Obidia, almost 360 billion. So, should we be talking about that size of project? So, you should have been doing 3 times that. I don't think that is scientific. So, let's not get into that argument. What we needed to do is to incrementally improve the road, which is all what I've always said, that it doesn't matter which government is in power. Who say the interventions are improving the lives of the people of this country. And to say President Mahama, Obechebi phase 1. Now President Akufo-Addo, the phase 2. As we are seeing, that is good thing. And in fact, I was there when we moved the motion for the phase 1 under President Mahama. I was there and supported the same way the phase 2 for President Akufo-Addo. I will never take the credit away from President Akufo-Addo for doing phase 2. Because the record will tell me that, no, it was his time that we did that. And that is good. Tamale Interchange. How could I say that the building of Tamale Interchange is not good? That is not the point we are making. The point I would rather make is that Tamale Interchange was just one of the lots out of the 10 Sino-Hydro lots. And as we speak, about 4 of them work haven't even started. Meanwhile, they are supposed to be finishing, some of them already or finishing soon. So if we finish one, I will thank you for finishing one. But I will remind you that it was 10 lots. And in fact, the Tamale Interchange is the second smallest of the project. The biggest ones, you haven't done much on it. So let it be clear. And I mean, this is a big platform. Me, I'm not one of those people and before and now I'm not that type of politician because I don't know how somebody will look at me knowing that I know the truth and then I'm saying something else. So our point is basically that the president probably misspoke and his advisors should just have come and say, look, this is not what we meant. And if that is what the road ministry is doing by attempting this, he hasn't done further enough. He would have said that actually we haven't constructed 10,000. There should have been a line in there. But what they have done is sort to say that, okay, we won't say that, but we'll tell you what we have done. And which is to say that for almost 5,000 kilometers of the 10,000 kilometers we are talking about is grading. That is all we are saying.
Baba, in terms of comparative analysis amongst and between governments, until the Roads and Highways Ministry started some of the figures of roads under them urban. You in the NDC have touted, say, about roads party the Mahama administration did unprecedented. The Mahama administration you've been saying that, haven't you?
The data, that is why I say, if it's about comparison in terms of what you inherited and what you've done. President Mahama was president for, let's say, 5 years.
Yes.
He completed President Mills' period and other things.
Yes.
And we are talking about the intervention. If NPP says, approval loan be say a bridge at Adoso, across that place. If that bridge we are able to do it, it would have been a major intervention. There's nothing wrong if NPP say this intervention is unprecedented. Nobody will fall because if that's that part of our country, what people go through currently to cross the river, enya easy. So there's nothing wrong if they say that. The way Circle was today, it's not like that. Yeah. It's a major issue that have been resolved. Yeah. If somebody says that is a major intervention, there's nothing wrong with it. All I'm saying is, if you take in terms of kilometers, to say, yes, these kilometers more than others, it will be misleading. This is where what we have found out right now, that the 10,000 something kilometers is almost half of it is what? Is grading. And who in MPP is going to be listening to you and I, Obi, and to be proud of that? When I'm sure when some of them they themselves saw this figure, they realized that say me and I presenting way here. I wouldn't have presented this way in the way the president presented it into parliament. Nobody can say by the end of President Akufo-Addo's term, he wouldn't have probably built interchanges, and probably the number of interchanges probably outnumber the ones that President Mahama built. But the same way, by the time President Mahama was leaving office, we have done more intervention than what President Rawlings did. But that is expected. And we appreciate that. That is all we are talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
Intimini Honorable Kwame Agbodza na Edin Komo, or ranking member on the Transport and Road Committee in Ghana's Parliament. You go so share name say the colleagues on the other side no so be joining na fe yetimi etie won so the war to counter the point he's made so far. Essentially, the all can say what the president put out in Parliament, misleading, because the devil is in the details. So we should break down now. The breakdown doesn't support the claim. Say 10,875 kilometers of new roads, and according to him, emphasis should be on new roads. So we should break down now. And new roads. In fact, construction of new roads, he tells us a little around 68, 69 kilometers. They are upgrade. But honorable, so share critical roads.
Yes.
It is already breakdown contained in the statement now. Omaka's a critical route, mainly Ghana Highways Authority.
Yeah.
Between June and December 2021, and this is after the present Mamo covering 2017 and May 2021. Between June and December, at 312.74 kilometers. It is our critical roads, won't there be new roads?
The facts they say
Okay.
many of these roads would fall under ABR reconstruction or
Okay.
rehabilitation.
Okay.
Says here, free after the bridge, after the Adomi Bridge, all the way to Esikuma is terribly bad. That road needs
potholes.
Yes, needs reconstruction.
In the end, it's a new road.
It's not a new
reconstruction.
It's a new road. Yeah, reconstruction. And the capture as reconstruction or so and so on. That is fair. So this figure of 300 and in fact, when the finance minister was presenting the budget, I think it's in 2019 or so. And then they said the critical roads, and then there was no road shown in Volta region. You remember? Then he issued a statement that that's not what he meant.
Yeah.
And since then, they have gone to capture the road between Ho and Denu as a part of the critical road. The question is, say, Ufri Ho, Denu Sisia. Can you see any construction going on there? Nothing. So maybe these critical roads, but that road is not a new road. It's an existing road that needs upgrading. So Ejuma, it is accepted. We like it. We are not against it. But you can't say you have done anything new. You have gone to do reconstruction.
Yeah, but for example, Sawoshe currently, Sawoshe your friend is saying Takwa. Takwa Eba Takra. It is from Takwa to Apimenim, where the rubber estate factory in Ewano. If government should go in to do that road, and I'll give you an example, even from Takwa through Bogoso, Eba Ayamfore, it was an existing road, but it was terribly bad. And under the Mills administration, almost 30 years, that whole stretch.
Yes, we didn't finish.
Yeah, more and I think the NPP came to finish? No. It started under Mills and Mahama completed. Started under Mills and Mahama completed. But when you take that stretch, you cannot convince anybody say Abaina yes fufro. Even though it was a road that was there, but the state it was done.
You see, the president is leading us into a new territory that we shouldn't go. Look, Fufu Sola and those roads that President Mills, President Mahama did.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
But were there new roads constructed?
Were they not?
No, there was a road there. But it was not a road because that is why at the ministry there's a maintenance unit and then there's development.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So there's always a description as to what you want to do. In fact, the contract document will describe upgrading of so and so,
Yes.
reconstruction of
Yes.
so and so. And all of them are critical. We are not doubting that. What we are saying, say, be factual when you are presenting this so that it doesn't give the impression. Look, say, ano, and you came saying that you are coming to justify the president's 10,800 kilometers of road. And ultra letter away, plenty English on 2 pages, and the tail end, then he said, roads constructed and maintained. And you yourself are now admitting, say, about half of this was just maintenance work. And it's almost 5,000. Couldn't you have just saved yourself the agony of unnecessary explanation by saying, say, we have carried out different levels of intervention, and then we have done about 5,000 of grading and other things.
Yes.
We have done, what do you call it, critical roads. We have done 312 kilometers and other thing, and leave it there. Where is this temptation to say, obi, and to the extent, say, you are coming to say something which doesn't actually add up. That is where the problem is.
But
why is it that NDC time, no?
Yeah.
We didn't attempt this? Because we know that is misleading. So you will not hear an NDC president, that President Mills or President Mahama say, we have constructed over 10,000 or 5,000 kilometers of roads, so and so. They will just use the MTF and say, these are the interventions we did, reshaping, grading, upgrading, and other things, and leave it there. Yes, if you see the MTF, it will tell you how much kilometers we have done in terms of grading. In fact, as a matter of fact, why the figure the president put out is even misleading. From 2018-2019, if you check the data, we have actually not done well in terms of routine maintenance and other things. And I even gave you one example where the minister actually issued a statement to all regional directors of urban roads saying, don't award any new project in terms of any intervention. So how come you are the government who actually at the point in time was lacking in terms of even routine maintenance, yet you are saying you have done more than everybody? Where from this?
But Honorable, we have to interrogate this thing about new roads.
Yes.
You are an engineer, right?
No, I'm an architect.
Oh, an architect. Okay. Enti yemfa ne say sisi aye kan after omo auditor omo aye no. Omo me yehu say the road network in Ghana ebeko be 94,000 kilometers. Yes. What it means, ne say, in that 94,000 road network in Ghana, no, if as part of the audit, no, a kwan bi wo adaklu,
yes,
baby,
yes,
omakwa akotwa the account says, okay, first hano na enye kwan na ye farm, but you see I sign call back the who settlement aba inti ababa be ye kwan. When government goes to do that road, because a existing road captured in our road network, are we saying it's a new road?
Good question. You see, that is why I make us say the president is leading us into a territory which we ought not to be going there. And we are very correct say the incremental numbers you're churning out from the ministry.
Yes.
And President Akufo-Addo time next starting.
Absolutely.
In terms of the stock of road we have is basically a factor of collection of data. And that's why I gave you an example. Say, Abia, there's a village in Adaklu, which used to be one-man village, and the person was farming there. But since then, a settlement has developed at the back of it.
Yes.
So currently, Abia, the MP of Adaklu, have written to Fida Road, say, yes. The day Fida Road goes to take stock of that length of road, it gets added to the stock
road
of
network.
Yes. Whether they work on it or not, it is still added as a stock of the road we have. You may see the feeder road as part of their routine maintenance, send a grader there through a contractor or directly to reshape that road for the meantime. That should not be captured as we have done a new road.
Okay, when feeder road called Eco Reshape is our road, and the central government through the ministry decided to say, okay, that same road now feeder road a reshape, on tap.
Yes.
They've reshaped. But now we are going to tie it. We are going to do it better. Reshaping bio. At the bitumen papa. When that is done, it becomes a new road. No?
Well, you in the industry, say a coin I will say exist here. You can do say upgrading. You see, they have actually done the right thing in terms of classification.
Yes.
In the document that already exists.
Yes.
The problem is what the president said. So if you get the MTEF, the medium-term development framework, it is quite clear. For instance, this medium-term development framework is up to 2025.
Yes.
On page 2 of this document, say they are talking about the condition mix of roads, trunk roads in kilometers. Out of the 78,401 kilometers, trunk roads 14,583. So, say a road in Adaklu used to be maybe a feeder road, and now the place has been built up, and feeder road specification and sizes are slightly different.
Yes.
Highways is different.
Yes.
So they can say we are upgrading it at the highways should take it over. So the next time we are doing an intervention on the road, the width of the road should be 7 point something with 1.5 shoulders, another thing. That is a major upgrading of the road. We should not box ourselves into the situation where we say a Kwame Waho. In the past, it was only being gravelled. It was only being re-gravelled. And the quota it's a new contract, it's a new road. I'm saying, that will be a misleading thing because there's no need to classify it like that. There's absolutely no... What is the temptation to say we have done something new when there's nothing you have done new?
Because that would then mean, if we are to go by your logic, that would mean, no government would ever construct a new road.
You will. In fact, if you take, for instance, if you are building a bypass around, as we've done around, what do you call it? We've done few bypasses recently. Even a friend was saying, in Sawam, they've done a bypass. Was there a road there that everybody knew about? They did a new bypass. How do you call it? When you go into Kumasi, where they sell, we used to buy the bread, and then they did a new bypass. Nkoko. There's a new bypass. That's a new thing.
And no will be a new road.
That's a new thing.
For example, from Apimenim to Elubo.
Yes.
That ECOWAS stretch.
Exactly.
No? The road was there.
Yes.
The NDC under Mahama did it.
Yes.
And a new road.
It's not new road. It's not new road. And you see, when you are talking about new road, what exactly, and did the ministry even define what they mean by new road? Because they know it's not necessary. So you realize that they've written a lot of English here, but they did not attempt to say anything about new. All he did was to clarify that we are talking about construction and maintenance. And so I agree with that rendition in the letter. And he went further to say, out of this critical road, we've done 312 kilometers. Out of the 312 kilometers, it could be rehabilitation, it could be upgrading, it could be all sorts of things in there. So the 312 kilometers is not one project. It could be 7, 8, 9 different projects. It could even be that in that, there's 100 kilometers which has been phased into 3 phases because of funding problem. So they finished phase 1, which is, let's say, 20 kilometers. That is how we captured road data in this country all along, and we've never had any problem with it. This temptation to push us into like, we've done this and so, I'm saying that it just creates unnecessary problem for anybody. We should back off. We should back off and continue to do what we've all been doing in the medium-term development framework all the time. Feeder road, reshaping. What have you done? We have done 10 kilometers. Okay. So and so, then you can add those things, and like they've done. If they were to say, oh, we've done this, and then what we didn't mean all of these are new, because if you are doing reshaping, OB, is that a new intervention? Out of the 10,800 they are talking about, their own document is saying, almost 5,000 is reshaping. Is reshaping a new thing you are doing? It means the road exists. You are doing an intervention to make it more trouble. We know that is good. Other people will not get reshaping and say, "Fako yempe." Aden yepe. There are communities in this town, Accra, suburbs, who wouldn't mind having a reshaping. Yeah. So we are not against, or we are not saying, reshaping is not good. We are saying, forcing the country to have a different rendition of presenting road data is dangerous.
It's dangerous.
And it's not even necessary.
Okay. Into your challenge again will be, after all this breakdown, the president should not have taken the final figure of 10,000 and classify all of them as new routes.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay. I'll be the last person to say, I'm not aware, the government beer ACSA coin. I'll be the last person. Why would I do that? President Mahama started some projects in Adaklu. President Akufo-Addo is doing some roadworks in Adaklu. Why would I say that he's not doing any road? That is not the point we are making.
Would you dispute if somebody should say, sir, in terms of
Ekosiisen on
the road sector, the minister under him, why more interventions on roads in terms of the kilometrage and the breakdown we are seeing, it will have to go to Amoakwanta. Would you agree?
No, I would say, for instance, Cocoa Roads. President Mahama awarded project to the tune of 5 billion Ghana cedi. And MPP took issues with it and said the syndicated loan cannot support Cocoa board to pay for those roads. And because President Mahama was setting aside $150 million anytime we are here syndicated loan, almost say that money is not enough. They set up a committee and the Minister of Agric appeared in Parliament and said openly that even the company that was selected to do the audit was done outside of the Procurement Act, because according to him, Public Procurement Authority did not have a board at the time he ordered for that. So that's another discussion on another day, whether there's a law that allows you to handpick somebody and give a contract. But since then, though they haven't been able to find any fault with the 5 billion worth of Cocoa Roads, today, they have awarded project worth 15 billion. Obi, will you say, because they've awarded 15 billion cedis of project, they have done better than President Mahama? Just because they have awarded. As we speak, Cocoa Board is struggling. Even money to do proper intervention for cocoa farmers is an issue. Just by awarding more projects, should that be classified as I've done more? If that is what we want, imagine what the next government will do. All you do is what? Go and be awarding. Because that is what led us to having a situation where we owe contractors 9 billion Ghana cedis now.
But are you saying, sir, in the case of this administration, the 15 billion worth of Cocoa Road project from our award, none of them is being worked on?
Oh no,
contractors
that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying, sir, if it's just about even NDC time they were working on it. Myself and when my former chairman, Honorable Yepe, we were in charge of the committee. I was his ranking.
Your ranking.
We went to Western Region to inspect Cocoa
Roads.
We saw Cocoa Road project that were 100% complete. Cocoa Board instructed the contractors, don't hand over, because we are auditing you. It was not even captured as completed project because Cocoa Board is saying that we are auditing you. So we had projects that were 100% complete. Today we have projects that were 15%, 10%, 20%, and you want us to say that because you have awarded more projects, we should tell you that you have done well.
You've done
when
well.
The guy who have actually done the work is in the house, sick, and cannot even go to the hospital because you owe him money. And Obi, let me say this. There's a catastrophe happening in the road sector. Let's not see what is happening.
In the road sector?
Yes, let me tell you. Cast your mind back 2 years ago. What was the price of cement? What is the price of iron rod? What is the price of fuel? Road project consume heavy fuel, iron rod, and cement. Some contractors have gotten project, as of the time, ammonia project, cement was, let's say, 30 cities.
Yeah.
And then 57 in northern part of the country across 60 cities. The same contract. A drum of diesel that they need for their graded doses and other things was a 900 Ghana cedi, 1,100 Ghana cedi, and then more than 2,000 Ghana cedi. You have doubled the amount of money the guy need to do the work. In the contract, people say project, you can do variation up to 10%. But if some of the contractors tell you what they are going through, their additional cost is over 30%, 40%. It requires the client, GOG, to go back and review those contracts automatically. And yes, sir, you know what you get? Shoddy job. Because Obi entimin fa nisika ekoto diesel 2,300 per drum and go and do work to be paid 1,000 Ghana cedi. Onye kwasia. Because the petrol seller, you will not use Ghana card to buy the petrol. So automatically, government should know that there's something happening in the road sector that needed to be addressed at a policy level.
Yeah, but sir, that's why there are variations in.
That is what I'm telling you, that the variation in most cases is up to 10% of the contract.
Okay.
Once it crosses that, it becomes a major change of the days. And if you consider the price of cement, iron rod, diesel of a fuel alone it will tip off many of the contract beyond the 10% variation. So the client themselves need to be proactive and make an intervention. Either you review the scope down and say, look, currently, your project is 100 kilometers. Let's face it. So you do maybe 50 kilometers. So I can adjust your price upward so that you can meet your cost. If you leave it and pretend that contractors are so patriotic, how patriotic can you be if something sells at 2,300 cedis and what you get paid for it is 1,100 cedis? What kind of patriotism are you going to use to do it?
In the bottom line, say you're shoddy.
Exactly. If that is if you do it.
If we insist for them to do it.
Exactly. If you insist, that's what will happen. But Ghanaian contractors are not bad people. And I've always said, Ghana is not lacking technical ability in terms of construction and supervision. Ghanaians can do all these things. And we have proven that we can do it. My battle with the road minister on motor angels on the motorway is all about this. That if we are going to borrow money, $570 million to build motorway construction will be cement and iron rod.
Yeah.
The top 10 contractors in this country can do this without, and in fact, we are ready to give the contractor $67 million mobilization.
Oh, mobilization.
Before even tax waiver. Obi, catch me say, I know you know big contractors, you are a big man. Tell me, say, almost $67 million advance, no tax on your project. They can't do motorway. They can easily do it. In any case, say this Abrofo Omuba, even if we do the commercial agreement in Parliament and you see this big company, at the end of the day, what do you see? They sublet it to Ghanaian contractors to do anyway.
Yeah.
Is it the case that we don't trust the engineers at the road ministry, the agencies, feeder road and other thing? Didn't they go to the same schools abroad and everything? Is it the case that the contractors here don't have the capability? What they need is capital. So if you brought motor angels because you said you should go and bring money, and they didn't bring $1, and you are keeping motor angels, and now they've brought a bill to Parliament to try and force something and create a fund and force Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund to buy a share into it so that they will go and take a loan from that place. Now they say $600 million in the name of motor angels. We shall not, our side will never support motor angels, a foreign company who will breach Article 181 7 of the 5 of the Constitution. We are saying, if we have got the money, then let Ghanaian contractors do the work because they have the capability and they will be part of the people who will be paying.
But has government showed they have that money?
Government?
Yes.
The government said they don't have it. So what they are coming to do is to go and borrow the money and give it to the foreign contractor. Obi, you should be angry. Go and borrow the money and give it to motor angels. Because of that, motor angels are set up office in this country waiting for that to happen. Then they go and then they'll tell you, they'll do 40%, local content. Say Ghanaian contractors about to me 40% local content. Why can't they do 100%?
Why can't they do 100%?
It's all about, but each of the issue, it's as if you hate somebody. Obi, the top 10 Ghanaian road contractors can do motorway if you give them the money. Give them tax waivers. Obi, we say we don't have money. Go and see the amount of tax waivers we've been granting to developers in this country. On one occasion, Obi, rural electrification. Me say, stone quarry machine was part of rural electrification during a tax waiver. I'm not talking of, I'm talking about a machine to do stone quarry. How did that happen? Because people basically just load items into the tax waiver and get more money taken out of.
But that's why you should expedite the tax exemptions bill.
I agree with you 100%. If I have my way, two things we'll do with speed. Bring a law to make sure that we have a way of licensing value for money auditing firms in this country.
Yes.
Instead of the finance minister handpicking a firm all the time and they'll tell you we got a firm from Ghana Institute of Surveyors. That is wrong. Which law tells you that you can go to Ghana Institute of Architects to give you
and give you a firm?
Give you a firm. You need to use the Procurement Act, but because we don't have a list of value for money auditing firms, and secondly is the one you are talking about, and we need to have a law that determines if you are a foreign developer, you come here. Should we say, pay your tax? We'll give you a refund.
We'll give you a refund.
Say, we can even say, within 30 days, we'll give you back your money. Because after all, you paid us.
But that bill is in Parliament, no?
It's in Parliament. There were days that we have actually sat in Parliament when the roof, Unim said there was a day when we wanted to change the law and remove, what do you call it? How do you call it? Assembly members.
Yeah.
Even and so I put the roof off. Speaker Michael Kwe sat in the chair to make sure we pass that law. That means it was what? It was an emergency thing for government. If government wants us to do the tax waiver thing as an agency, as they attempted bringing my very good friend, the chief stancing minister, as they claim, in an ambulance because of a vote on e-levy, if government actually sees the tax waiver law as an urgent thing, they can pass it tomorrow.
Because it will do a lot of things.
A lot. Obi, billions of dollars, the tax waivers we are granting. Even 1D, 1F alone. In fact, currently, every company in Ghana is more or less a 1D, 1F. All you need to do is to say, I'm coming under 1D, 1F. I've seen warehouses in Tema, which have been there all the time since I was a kid. Renovated recently, and then it's this in front of it, 1D, 1F.
Now, say about agreements now, about parliament or more pet tax waivers. No, it drew where we don't hear voices of dissent in the house.
Are you sure?
You don't talk about them.
Actually, I have actually voted against a tax waiver under the NDC before. I think Daily Guide or something report, because as a principle, I mean, say it is not fair to do that in favor of only foreign companies.
Yeah, but that's one out of.
I agree with you, but it shouldn't be about me. It should be about all of us, that we know we are losing money. In fact, we are talking about the strength of the city. Imagine if somebody tells you we've granted, say, more than $1 billion as tax waivers.
Yes.
Assuming that money was here, the guy contractor no actually Sasika, that money is within our bosom, and we only give him back the money at a particular time. Don't you think, say, it will give some strength to our currency?
No, the nomination is and Ghanaians have praised the minority for the opposition you've given the e-levy, for example. I was looking at, say, why don't we have that strength in unison and say, okay, enough is enough for these, because their tax exemption will come to Parliament in the form of an agreement presented by the executive. It is a moment Soreka said, no, Charlie, this thing is becoming too much. We can't. We don't see nothing. That's the point I'm making.
I agree with you. And for you to say, and you are a big voice in the country, say, you are requesting, demanding. It's not only when NDC is in opposition.
Oh, I get
you are
you.
demanding, say,
absolutely.
the opposition should government won't voluntarily do that.
Absolutely.
Opposition should be more determining in terms of, look, this is what the country wants. Let's do this. I agree with you. I will take that on board and say, we need to do more of this.
Because your position on e-levy, you argue, say, reflective of what the Ghanaian people think.
Yes.
And I know, say, a lot of Ghanaians are against this exemptions, especially the foreign companies.
Yes.
It's too much.
Oh, Obi.
It's too much.
When they come, Minia, even in the tax waiver, ensure nipa ni be jinaha enum kra we are giving tax waivers on it. The sand they are buying here, sand, we are giving tax waivers. Ebuo, the stone we are buying from here, we are giving tax waivers. Why?
And
corporate tax, everything free. Meanwhile, almost employ Ghanaian staffer, they will take tax from you. Almost stability that contract to the Ghanaian company. The Ghanaian company will pay
tax.
Yes.
I mean,
so what kind of taxation or fairness in terms of taxation? Obi, there's a lot we can do together as a country, whether government or opposition. And we are all saying, say, as long as we have all agreed, say, the democracy have come to stay. Say, a year election, we once they have declared somebody as a winner, you go to court, they say, oh dear, you can stay at home and shout and say anything. And then judiciary must be ready, say, they are also not right.
Of course.
The decisions they make, in fact, they review their own decisions, and that's not the case. It means that they can make mistakes. They should also have the stomach to take that thing. So if we all understand, say, that is the position, there will be peace in Ghana. There can be wars everywhere around us, but we have this understanding. We can be an oasis of peace in the middle of chaos.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Honorable, we should be wrapping up. Few messages now for you are responding now. In the interview. The bottom line is that the Akufo-Addo-led government has constructed more roads than any fourth Republican government within 5 years. We have performed better and we will continue to do our best for the citizenry. Samuel Brian Boabein in Awoshi. We say, Obi, good evening. Then from what the NP is saying, he expects the government to say it's done a new road when the government even just grades someone's farming path for him. Because if upgrading of a feeder road cannot be termed as a new road, then he is rather misleading. Dr. Randall here in Accra, you get his drift. In the person challenge, I can say new roads here, a choir and exist here, wakwaya. Then say me who say I buy me ko grade you be a foam cramana. A foam near ya okay, where you fool, you perceive a dear coin in the grade a phone in Finfi, then it becomes a new road, and that government can report that as having constructed a new road. Obi, good evening. Kindly ask the MP, how does he classify the dual carriage from Insawim to Apija? Okay. We say, Obi, do you know that Honorable Kwame was the UK and Ireland chairman of the NDC? Were you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Also, he was one of the best chairmen the NDC has produced. No wonder he's doing extremely well as an MP. I wish him well, and may Allah protect him. Tell him to get in touch. Unfortunately, your preamble, Nankasano say, he wasn't. Is any of your colleagues?
I was the vice chairman of NDC.
NDC in the UK, Ireland. Vice chairman, and not a chairman. Okay, I think maybe
at
that's
the time, Honorable Segbefia was the.
Alex Segbefia, no, a chairman, and now we are vice. Oh, okay. We said. And how do they expect the country to pay for the roads? Okay, until L, they are or no, they are praying. And no. Obi, good evening. If you would recall, there was a letter dated 7th May 2021 that directed all regional directors of urban and feeder roads not to award contract for new roads so that the ministry would use the period to pay contractors. My own research from urban roads, both at the regional and national headquarters, indicates that the directive was fully complied with. Hence, no road maintenance or routine maintenance work has been awarded since 2021. So the question is, how was that miraculous 5,110 kilometers of grading improvement claimed by the Ministry of Roads, which is usually done by feeder and urban roads, awarded and executed? We cannot just allow state institutions to lie and deceive the taxpayers. The second question is, what was the budgetary allocation for the 5,110 kilometers of road? Which contractors executed those road contracts? Which procurement processes did they go through? Remember, all feeder roads and urban roads maintenance works are advertised in the daily newspapers before contracts are awarded. Can anyone prove me wrong by showing me any of such contract document? Richard Kirk Mensa
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Obi, I think Honorable Govins Agbodza is a bit of fresh air to Ghana politics. He stands for the right thing to be done and speaks with passion. We pray for more politicians like him. Goldland Madugu in Michelle Camp and Odiwe Abrain. Honorable, you can respond to these near
okay.
Interview.
Yes, my good friend Sami Boaben.
Yes.
Sami, we are sure that you wafa 10,800 that share president state. Would get in touch here? The grading and upgrading we're talking about. It's quite a simple thing. Okay. If you go to do reshaping of a road, it is not a construction.
Okay.
It is a maintenance program.
Work, okay.
And this is an age-old understanding at the ministry.
Okay.
No president or minister can change the rendition as to how the engineers classify this. Okay. And that all I'm calling for is that we should not force the professionals in the industry to begin to do a different classification for us for political reasons. Because what they do is, a best practice that you can find anywhere else. Okay. And that is all I'm calling for. I'm not saying, it's not good. I've said it already that there are places in Adaklu today, say, you're grading Kwana Muye Kra, Mipe. I'm okay with that. Okay. That is not what I'm arguing about. Okay. I think we've made enough progress in terms of explanation of what we are doing. I wouldn't say the Minister of Road hasn't done anything. I'm happy with enough. I said, how do you call it? The Tamale interchange. I'm happy. I just reminded them that there are 10 more of those projects in Lot 1 alone. Yeah. In fact, because of that, we haven't even started phase 2 of the Sino-Hydro. Because if phase 1, you have already completed only one. If you roll out phase 2, what are you going to do? So
was Dodowa in phase 1?
Yes.
Dodowa was in phase 1.
Yes, phase 1. Okay. And they're working on some of them, but the speed. And like I said, the reason it's not going on is not because of COVID necessarily. The drawdown is slow because the Chinese can see that financially we are not in a position, and we are not also mining the bauxite and processing it because we say we'll pay them from the proceeds of bauxite. So the guy can see that you already have financial problem, and you are not doing anything to unlock the money you said you were going to pay. What do you think? They will be dragging their feet. If we were to be doing that, maybe they would have completed it. So I said that I don't agree with government putting so much emphasis on loading too much of our roads onto Sino-Hydro because it's not necessarily that is why I call for the decapping of road fund completely. Let them have their 2.2 billion, and the minority side have even suggested we would have supported the increment of road tolls. Because since the increment was done by President Mills, we haven't done anything. Today, when you were, hypothetically, if you were driving a V8 and you go through Tamamoto and they charge you 5 cedis, you think Ghanaians are going to cry for you?
No.
If you can afford a V8, you can. But guess what? How much do we pay? 1 cedi.
1 cedi.
Now, so we're getting almost 80 million. If that is 5 times, we can gross at least $200-300 million from road tolls alone into the road fund. $300 million a year. See what I can do on our roads.
But e-levy is getting you more than that, and you are against it.
No, e-levy is
the portion that will go into the road fund.
What portion did they tell you was going to the road fund?
According to the roads minister, they are expecting some.
In fact,
is it 2 billion?
No, they haven't even specified what. That is another trick. You see, the finance minister wants a pool of money that he can spend with discretion. We are paying money already for youth employment and other things. We are paying money for sanitation. We are paying money for education. So what is he talking about that when we do this before we have money? Get Fund gets money through you and I. Today, when I buy fuel, I'm paying Get Fund because we've collateralized it under Dachi. So now when we pay Get Fund, it goes to service the Dachi loan instead of going to build schools elsewhere. So we are not saying government shouldn't find any other revenue handles. But I'm saying, for instance, if unfortunately somebody passes on in my constituency and they take the person to mortuary, if e-levy is in session, they take the person to mortuary and they don't have money to pay a deposit, and I volunteer to help. Once I'm transferring that money from my phone to that person, you are charging me e-levy on that. But is that an income to the person or anybody? It just doesn't make sense. If I want to help somebody pay school fees and I send the money to a Nippon phone, and the person attempts to remove the money before he goes to pay school fees, you are charging me e-levy on that. How can that be something good? So I'm protecting myself because MPs would also be victims. If e-levy comes, you will be a victim because when you're MP, but meaning say the number of people who call you say, if I will grow, you're bigger than MP. You know, so e-levy is a principle with them. We are not saying the telcos shouldn't contribute. They already contribute some money. But this way of forcefully taking money from my pocket.
What you are against.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Good evening, bro. Please, the NDC MP in your studio has forgotten that it was under the watch of the Mahama administration that the NDC government and under an NDC government that a Burkinabe contractor was given a contract to construct the famous Dodipepesu Road that lasted for less than a year. The NDC government entrenched the use of foreign contractors. You get his drift?
Yes. Nobody is against the use of foreign contractors or foreign people. We are a global world. We are not. The reason I said Motor Angels is not qualified, I said it. That Article 181. When you have a foreign entity entering into a commercial agreement with government, you need to come to Parliament, which they haven't come to Parliament as we speak. And the basis on which Motor Angels entered Ghana to do the motorway was that it was going to be what? A PPP. Where they will bring money. At the end of the day, the minister cancelled the PPP program because Motor Angels couldn't even raise $1. So why are you keeping them? I'm saying cancel the whole thing, open a new bid, allow Ghanaian contractors also to participate. If they can team up and whatever, because you said you have the money, so they don't have to raise the money. So if that is the case, Motor Angels does not qualify to be part of people who will even bid for that job. Yes.
Okay. I get your point. Honorable, it's a pleasure talking to you. But we say, good evening, Obi. Please ask the MP, was the NDC giving construction of important routes? Okay, it's the same question to Ghanaian contractors. Alex Tufo in Hamburg, Germany. Alex, I think that question has been responded to. Honorable, My nase enyumre ye besan so di nkomo bio. Why?
Obi Mini Jipa say me who me champion Obi. Make sure say I'll be in touch. This is a very wonderful platform.
You have to.
Minim say
you have to.
Nipa Bibre 80. Minim say to me a jojo on issues in this country as we have done no. Ansa na ye be free aha eko baby no. We would have left the country better than we found it, and our children will do better than us.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. We are grateful.
Thank you very
Honorable Kwame Agbodza Daklo MP and Amoten and Kaneko si saying suni haya Sempa FM. But often me pamuchao consolidate